Next, if you look at reciprocal functions, these are nothing but the curves of the form y is equal to x power n, same as the nth power functions, but here n is negative. So you can have n as an even negative or n as an odd negative. So y is equal to x to the power minus 2, x to the power minus 4, x to the power minus 6, so on. These are the reciprocal functions when n is an even negative number. And 1 by x is x power minus 1, this is x power minus 3, this is x power minus 5. These corresponds to n being odd negative. So how does these graphs look like? So the difference between these graphs is, so if n is negative even number, corresponding to positive x's you get positive y, corresponding to negative x's also, because you are raising this negative number to an even power. Corresponding to negative x also, y becomes positive. And if the power is odd, corresponding to positive x's, y is positive. Corresponding to negative x's, the value of y is negative. So I hope you see the basic difference between these two. And the common thing about these two functions, these two types, is that when x is equal to 0, neither these functions are defined nor these functions are defined. So reciprocal functions are not defined at 0. So domain is all real numbers except 0. Domain is all real numbers except 0. Now, so if you want to draw the graph of y is equal to 1 by x square, clearly as x tends to 0, this 1 by x square tends to infinity, right? If x is a very small number, 1 by x square is a very large number. As x increases, 1 by x square decreases. So if you look at the graph of this, close to x is equal to 0, the graph goes to infinity. And as x becomes very large, 1 by x square goes to 0. So the graph looks like this. So it goes to infinity as x goes to 0, it goes to 0 as x goes to infinity. And the same thing happens on the negative side. So as we have seen, for negative values of x also, the values of y are positive this time. So you get graphs like this. So as you can see, this graph is symmetric about y-axis. Symmetric about y-axis. And the graphs of all these functions look nearly same. As you increase the power, the graph becomes more and more rectangular. I say graph becomes more and more rectangular. That is, if you take the graph of y is equal to x to the power 4 compared to x power 6. So as you can see, all these graphs pass through 1, 1. So if this is 1, 1, this graph also passes through 1, 1. This graph also passes through 1, 1. So what is the difference? 1 by x power 4 goes to infinity faster and goes to 0 also faster. So y is equal to 1 by x square and y is equal to 1 by x power 4. So 1 by x power 4 goes to 0 faster than 1 by x square, and it also goes to 0 faster than 1 by x square. So the graph, in terms of the shape of the graph, there is not much difference. In terms of the shape of the graph, there is not much difference. All these graphs are symmetric about y-axis. And if you have these graphs, y equal to 1 by x, as x increases, 1 by x decreases. If x is positive, y is positive. So the graph looks like this on the first quadrant, and as x is negative, y is negative. So the next part of the graph looks like this. So this is the graph of y is equal to 1 by x and 1 by x cube, 1 by x power 5. All these graphs have the same general shape. And as you see, x-axis and y-axis are asymptotes to this graph. X-axis and y-axis are asymptotes to y is equal to x to the power n, where n is negative. So I hope you understand the reciprocal curves. So in the reciprocal, you can have even power or odd power. So if you have even power, the graph lies in first and second quadrant. If you have odd powers, the graph lies in first and third quadrants.